Sooner, everybody. You guys know me, I'm Harry James, and oh boy did we need that one. The Sooners hang half 100 on number 19 Kansas in Norman in a 52-42 victory before a bye week. Alright guys, we'll look over the stats, plays of the game in my opinion, and the scoring highlights. All that and more, you know what to do. Coming up next, Boomer Sooner 1982. Don't go away! Welcome back to the OU Football Review Show, everybody. Released for Oklahoma, Kansas. My name's Harry James. As the highlight says, headline says, Sooners hang half 100 on number 19 Kansas in Norman, 52-42 in the final. But nationally, how did they put the upset on nationally? First, we'll look over some stats before we do anything else, as we always do. And with the stats, we'll head to Lawrence, Kansas, where there's number 17, Jason Bean, at the end of the day, had 265 yards through the air to go with 4 touchdowns, did have 2 interceptions, and a long completion of 39 yards. The other side, the Sooners, they welcome back their guy, Dylan Gabriel, who came back high profiling and styling to go with 403 yards, 2 tug-building touchdowns, did have his first pick as a Sooner, and a long completion. The longest completion, by the way, 41 yards. That's the passing. The running game, you got to get some running game involved. Kansas did a little bit with Devin Neal and their quarterback, 17, Jason Bean. Devin Neal had 12 carries with 84 yards and a touchdown. His longest run, 46 yards. While Jason Bean, the quarterback, added 10 rushes on his attempts to go with 41 yards on the ground, 0 touchdowns, and a long run of 14 yards. While the Sooners of Oklahoma, Eric Gray made another fabulous transition from Tennessee to Oklahoma with 20 carries. This time, guys, $176 on the ground, 2 touchdowns, and a long distance run of 35 yards. While number 2, Javonte Barnes, also did his part with 21 carries of his own to go with 69 yards and 2 touchdowns, and a long run of 7 yards. By the way, Javonte, 69 yards on the ground. Nice! Right, Jerry Ramsey? Now we'll take a look at the receiving notes. Each of these guys, by the way, went over 100 yards. Everybody on the receiving highlight core at least, went for over 100 yards, including number 2, Lawrence Arnold, and Mason Fairchild. We'll go with Lawrence Arnold first. 5 catches to go with 113 yards and 2 touchdowns. A long reception of 39 yards from wide receiver. And tight end Mason Fairchild, 6 catches to go with 106 yards and 2 touchdowns. And a long reception of 27 yards, again, from his tight end spot. Oklahoma also had a big-time receiver and tight end go off. The wide receiver, number 17, Marvin Mims, at the end of the day, 9 catches to go with 106 yards. Didn't have a touchdown, but his longest reception, 33 yards. While the tight end, H-back, quarterback, do everything guy. This time he played tight end, where he got 5 catches to go with 102 yards and a touchdown, did Braden Willis, including a long-distance shot reception from 38 yards out. So we talked offense. Now let's talk a little defense. Defensively, Kenny Logan Jr. and Lorenzo Mccaskill. Kenny Logan Jr., 14 total tackles, 0 forced fumbles, 0 fumbles recovered, and a pick, though, from a safety position. Of course, that pick, by the way, Gabriel's first in an OU jersey. Looking pretty good. That would have been a daunting arrow heading into Ames against Baylor, Oklahoma State, Texas Tech in the post bye week. Now he doesn't even have to think about that. He's thrown that first interception. It was to Kenny Logan Jr. He was number 1. Also, number 7, Lorenzo Mccaskill. He also had a good game to go with 11 total tackles, 0 forced fumbles, 0 fumbles recovered, and 0 picks. He's a linebacker. Speaking of linebackers, for Oklahoma, 2 linebackers really stood out. David Agwebu and Deshaun White. We'll start with Agwebu. David Agwebu, 8 total tackles, 0 forced fumbles, 0 fumbles recovered, 0 picks from linebacker. While Deshaun White, 8 total tackles, 0 forced fumbles, 0 fumbles recovered, but had that amazing finger-tipping catch, interception, I should say, from there. So you go from offense to defense. Now let's take a look at special teams, punting and kicking. For Kansas, by the way, first, 24 Rice Vernon, 5 punts, averaging 42.4 in average, 1 landed inside the 20-yard line, 1 touchback, and a long punt of 60 yards. While Oklahoma, 37 Michael Turk, don't have to average much here, guys. 1 punt, 55 yards, 0 touchbacks, 0 inside the 20-yard line, 1 touchback, and a punt of 55 yards. While kicking for Kansas, Jacob Bochilia, 0 for 0 NA on field goals, percentage, and long distance kicking. NA on all, did not try a field goal. But Zachary Schmidt, the kicker Schmitty, 1 for 1 for 100% in a long kick of 37 yards. In the fourth quarter, by the way. So there's all that. So now we've gone over offense. We've talked about defense. We've talked about special teams. Talk about some highlights in this one. Highlights start in the first quarter. Javonte Barnes' 1-yard touchdown run right out the gate. Since the Sooners up 7-0, they're not losing this one, guys. And the Sooners sent the message early, right down the field, including a 1-yard touchdown run from Javonte Barnes to put them up 7-0, 12-14 left. But Kansas saying, you know what, we're not going to make it that easy on you. We're not just going to hand it to you. You got to go earn it. And they tie it up, does Kansas. 39-yard touchdown pass from Jason Bean to Lawrence Arnold, 7-7 tie, 9:35 left. Eric Gray makes his first trip into the rushing end zone rushing wise with a 2-yard touchdown run. 14-7 Sooners, 7:13 left. Kansas still doesn't want to go away. Devin Neal, 11-yard touchdown run to tie it up at 14. Does number 4 Devin Neal at 2:39 left. Then Javonte Barnes goes back for another 1-yard touchdown to put the Sooners up again, 21-14. Sooners, 14:26 left. Sooners then get back-to-back touchdowns. This is when the Sooners started pulling away. Dylan Gabriel doing his part to find Theo Weiss from 24 yards out. 28-14, Sooners lead. 5:42 left. Then with 2:40 left, 28 yards by Eric Gray. 35-14 Oklahoma. 2:40 left. Sooners up big, but not big enough for Kansas. they'll cut the lead. They'll cut into the lead with a 18-yard touchdown pass from Jason Bean to Mason Fairchild. Sooners still up, though, 2 scores, 35-21, with 1:36 left as we go to halftime. Third quarter out of the halftime break. Dylan Gabriel, 1-yard touchdown sneak, 42-21 Sooners, 10:16 left. Then, here comes Kansas again. Jason Bean, 18-yard touchdown pass again to Mason Fairchild. 42-28, 5:56 left. Dylan Gabriel then finds B-Dub, Braden Willis. Touchdown Willie. Scored a couple touchdowns, ran quarterback a couple of times last week. This time he does it traditionally from his tight end slot as Gabriel finds him from 26 yards out. Put the Sooners up 49-28. Oklahoma, 2:36 left. Kansas off the bench comes Kai Thomas with 1-yard touchdown run to make it 49-35. Sooners, though, lead 10:33 left. That is when you get Zach Schmidt to put the nail in the coffin to put the Sooners up 2 scores. Or 3 scores, actually, I guess. 52-35 because of a 37-yard field goal by Zach Schmidt with 5:18 left. 52-42. 52-35 here. It would eventually be 52-42 because of a 18-yard touchdown pass from Jason Bean to Mason Fairchild. Offensive play of the game. Dylan Gabriel hooks up with number 82, Gavin Freeman, on a 41-yard touchdown pass. Fingertip touchdown pass, by the way. And it was Gavin Freeman all the way down to the Kansas 6-yard line. First down, Oklahoma. That's your offense. Your defensive play of the game, Jason Bean back. And he's picked off by Wyoming transfer, I should say. Number 22, CJ Colvin at the OU 35-yard line. And that really was kind of that's really what kind of put it away for Oklahoma and allowed them to kind of run away with it. Now, as we talked about, Kansas did make a late run back. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Make that late run back, baby. Oklahoma exited the game with more points than Kansas, meaning Sooners win. That's what we like, baby. No preview game this week. Next week we'll preview Iowa State. The team will be in Ames as we head for that one. All right, guys. Till then, my name's Harry James. You know this. You can watch us in all of my videos on the YouTube, Boomer Sooner 1982. Also, Facebook, Harry James Taylor, or on the Twitter handle, @I'mInHarry. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Boomer Sooner, everybody. I'm out of here. Peace.